Alright, got my lighting, got my setup. Anyways, hi guys, LarryBoy Fanatic here. And before I begin, my LarryBoy t-shirt. Had it for a good while now. So anyways, I asked you guys what story you want me to tell you. And overwhelmingly, you guys chose a story about the LarryBoy chapter books. Now, these are just a couple, but like just to give you an idea. I'm going to tell you guys the story of how I got all of the LarryBoy books. Ta-da! So it actually all started with these two books. The first one and the fifth one. Which, by the way, this is based on a video. The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. And then this one would later go on to be an episode of the VeggieTales show, believe it or not. It's like, I never thought this could happen, but then they butchered that up. So to start the story, I believe it was like towards the end of middle school, me going into high school, where I first came across these two books at my local grocery store. It was like in the kids book section, you know, where all the toys and games and cards and all that stuff, on that shebang and bang. And there was like a rack of children's books that was in that aisle, and on that rack were these two books, and I was like, I gotta have them. So I ended up buying these from my local grocery store. So these were the first two books that I actually got my hands on when it comes to the Cartoon Adventures book series. And then I heard about the other ones, and by chance I ended up seeing the rest of the books, with the exception of this one, the last book. Like, these were at my local library at some point. I don't think they are anymore, but these were at my library. And every time I would go to the library, I would get a book. And after reading that book, I would get the third. And then there's the fourth, and the fifth, and sixth, and seventh, and eighth. But it's like, at the time, I only had these two books, and the rest of them were at the library. So I asked one of my cousins, which, by the way, God bless her soul, because she recently passed away. But yeah, she ended up helping me get the rest of these books, including this one. So at the time, I didn't have Amazon, but my cousin did. So she cut me a deal. She told me, hey, if you can pitch in on some of these books, then I'll help you buy the rest of the books. And I was like, okay, because I was getting, at the time, I was already getting allowance from my dad and my grandma Lecha, which is my dad's mom. So over time, we ended up getting all these books off of Amazon. And I'm really grateful for my cousin doing that for me. And it's like every once in a while, when she would come visit me here at home, she would hand the books over to me and say, enjoy. And I was like, I was super grateful. I remember telling her thank you a lot. Because this was LarryBoy. This was the Cartoon Adventure series in book form. And I was really grateful. So my reaction to this book is like, I see this one as one of the best installments to this series. I would rank this as number 1 for my favorite book out of the series, because wait a minute, it's not this one. It's not. This is my second favorite. Where was it? It had Awful Alvin in it. Okay, Trash Man. Abominable Trash Man is my number 1. Because the stakes were pretty high in this one. It had a monster. It had Awful Alvin. There's a lesson in handling your fear. And the imagery in this is so freaking cool. And whoever wrote this book, because there's like different authors, like Sean Gaffney, and this book was written by Doug Peterson. I think Doug Peterson is a pretty good writer out of the two. I mean, Sean Gaffney's not bad because he wrote the original Angry Eyebrows video. Oh, and there's also Bob Catula who wrote this one. Kent Red. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. But I think Doug Peterson did a really good job writing this book. I'm just saying. And it shows these two, like, the chemistry between these two. It's like, will they get together? Will they won't? Will they not? It's like, I really want to see these two get together. But then again, in the other side of the multiverse, there's Petunia Rhubarb. So that was the story of how I was able to collect all of these. I had help from one of my cousins, and by pure luck, it all started with these two at a local grocery store. And I am happy to have this series. I mean, it's not perfect, but if you were me back in middle school or high school, it was like candy to me. So anyways, that was the story of how I got the collection. That I was able to collect all the books in the chapter book series of LarryBoy the Cartoon Adventures. I know this is not long enough for a full video, but you guys asked for me to tell this story, so thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys so much for listening to me tell you the story about my books. My books. You know, on the plus side, I like the front covers to these, especially these two. This one, B minus. This one's okay, I guess. Okay, this has to be my least favorite. Oh, this has got to be one of my favorites. It's got to be this one. Because it looks like it's being mind controlled. This one is my... I'll put this in the same tier as this one. They're both bland. But you know what? All these are pretty good for the most part. But anyways, you guys, leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and if you guys want to support the show even further, there is always my Patreon. And I'm planning on telling a lot more stories in the future. So let me know what you guys think, and let me know in the comments what kind of stories that you want me to tell next. I know there's like other stories that I suggested in the poll that I did. So let's go ahead and give those a try. You can follow me on Twitter, Tumblr, DeviantArt, Instagram, all that shebang-a-bang. And as always, thank you so much for watching. And until next time, this has been your girl, the LarryBoy Fanatic. The eyes and plunger ears of the LarryBoy multiverse and more. Alrighty, see you guys.